Andrew, where did we leave off last time?
Oh yeah. So we had a epic battle last session, which involved fighting the giant bird-like skeleton creature. In the midst of this battle, we had we had two fatalities. Mrs. Q being knocked unconscious, and then Aurora, another one of Eric's characters, unfortunately.
Put your thumb down. I take no pleasure in it.
Won't be the last time.
But, through perseverance, we finally defeated the monster. Mm-hmm. Mrs. Q was healed back up, and through some special tea from a friend, we were able to bring back Aurora. Unfortunately, the individual who created this creature escaped by turning invisible, but we learned some important information. We didn't learn this person's name, but we did learn that they created this creature because they were trying to create something that would defeat a greater creature, a greater monster in the grove. Something that would potentially weaken and or draw the life out of this bigger creature, this greater threat. However, they escaped by turning invisible and locking themselves behind some door, which we don't know goes where in the lower levels. We know that in the lower levels, something that was interesting was that it reminded us a lot of the caverns that we saw underneath Alderheart, which were made from kind of like the remains of the old giants of old type thing. We are all very tired, and I believe we were trying to contact the Dean for help. Or we were just going to call for help. I think that's where we left off.
My last line of notes, I just want to share this because I don't even remember writing it down, just says more Danes on more Danes all the way back.
Yes.
Professor Mordain was carrying Professor Mordain.
How do you have any idea what goes on at any point in time with notes like that?
More details than mine.
I mean, being boned to death.
I just stopped writing notes after that because I don't think she'd know anything. You write in the way that your character remembers. Exactly. Yeah.
All right.
Intelligence is always a dubstep. Take a role play in my note taking.
Jesus. All right. With that, as how did you put it? More Danes on more Danes.
More Danes on more Danes.
More Danes on more Danes. As the group of you is carrying an unconscious Professor Mordain, still surrounded in the gray kind of smoke jelly sort of substance, you are easily able to make your way back up to the Dean's office. Mm-hmm. Stop me if you want to speak to the Dean, but at 3:30 in the morning, the Dean is looking extra haggard. Realizing Professor Mordain's current state, the Dean encourages you...
Before we get in, I want to take the Professor Mordain necklace off and put it on Professor Mordain before we go see the Dean.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, you do so.
Okay.
His visage doesn't change.
That's fine. Just want to fuck with him. It's like a singularity.
He imagines he turns into Apoc.
It doesn't look like his visage changes at all, but yeah, the blue teardropped amulet is back on the neck of Professor Mordain. Yeah. And as the Dean just gets you to lay Professor Mordain down on the couch that he has in his office. You can see the scrolls kind of haphazardly laid out on his desk. It's a little more haphazard than a few hours ago when you were here around midnight speaking with the dean in the first place. But the dean encourages you all to find respite and directs you to a guest dormitory in the Avium itself. Trying to give you a sense of security after your endurance for the night, or after the events of tonight, and just attempting to ensure that you at least get some form of rest. You are able to take a long rest at this point.
Oh, thank God.
Which means you can get all of your spells back. If you lost any... if your hit point maximum was reduced in any way during the events of the night, that is gone. So your hit point maximum is back up to full.
Quick question. I only lose 1 level of exhaustion, right?
Correct.
Okay.
Oh boy.
This 12-year-old is still cranky.
Have some more coffee. You still have it, right? Right, Elle?
I think so.
Oh, if you lost that, I'm gonna be cranky.
Desperately look through all of her stuff to find it. When she finds it, she's gonna try taking a swig when she finds it.
You're able to find it, but it's one of those things where you're so tired that you pick it up and put it down multiple times, not realizing what it is you're looking at, sort of thing. But yes, you do still have it on you. Along with the cluster of 2 green candles that you were able to take from the laboratory, a small chest, and a few vials of unidentified liquids at this point.
Apoc has the chest.
Yeah.
I got the vials, and then everybody else has the rest of the stuff. I can't remember who grabbed what.
But as you wake up the next morning, the sun kind of filtering in through a porthole style round window. It's very small for this room. It is a dorm with all 5 of you kind of shoved into this space. Sleep finding some of you easier than others. But you do wake up safely in this area. Is there anything you'd like to do upon waking up? It's 11 in the morning.
Mrs. Q would want to work on figuring out a way to get Professor Mordain to wake up to see if he knows more about the person who kidnapped him, seeing as we don't know his name.
So the dean did take Professor Mordain on the couch in his office before ushering you all to this room. Professor Mordain's not currently with you, but you could give me an Arcana check if you'd like to try and just ponder it.
Yeah.
As you wake up in the late morning, trying to get your bearings once more.
Hang on. My thing's being weird. I don't know how to... What did you do to make it not like this? I tried that.
What did you do to make it not like this?
Oh, okay. I don't know what you said. That's... Okay. I'm no longer exhausted, so this will actually be maybe decent. Nope. That's a 9.
Kind of the same as you got the first time you attempted to figure out what was going on with Professor Mordain. Unsure. The best you can gather is maybe it was something necromantic in origin, considering all of the necromancy that you found in the laboratory. But it's still evading you, unfortunately.
Okay.
Guys, I just got really sad. As you see Apoc kind of just fiddling with his bracelet. I got this box, but Cam usually opens it. Anybody able to pick a lock?
I can try. I'm still pretty tired, but I can try.
Anybody want to help her?
What would it be?
Nudge, nudge.
If you're gonna give it a shot, here's here's the blessing of Cam, hopefully, and guidance.
Nice. Please don't break.
Hey, Elle, how are you picking this lock, my dear?
Good question. I don't think I have thieves' tools.
You want to try with the dagger?
I have a dagger I can try with.
All right. Go ahead and make a dexterity check. All you get is your dex modifier for this.
Okay.
Man, I could probably do better.
So this is a dex check? It's not a... Oh. It's an ability check, right?
Yeah, with your dexterity. So just dexterity.
Yeah, I have disadvantage on all ability checks.
Sure do.
Just checking.
Just a well-oiled machine.
Cheers
here.
to that.
But I do have a new dice tray, so this is my dice tray that I'm going to roll in.
Whoa.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Yeah.
I love
Alright,
it.
hopefully it's lucky.
Bird fact for today: owls are the slowest flying birds.
Who?
Owls,
Who?
which is kind of ironic that they're like the messenger bird for the Harry Potter franchise.
Yeah. They never said Mel was fast in Harry Potter.
Yeah.
Didn't you see the second movie?
They did say that different owls were color-coded by speed.
How is your check?
Really? Yeah.
I got a 10 and an 11.
Okay.
Plus,
1, so I got an 11 and a 12.
was the,
Plus a
with,
D4.
That was with guidance?
Oh, plus D4! Plus 3.
Yeah.
So 11, 14. 14?
14? Is
Um,
that a question?
14!
You go with this dagger, you're kind of like doing the slow blink that you're still tired. And as you like use the tip of the dagger and just sort of start to move with the tumblers, as soon as the dagger presses on the like little amulet, the little sigil of the chest, it opens because it was not locked.
Nice.
But I don't let anyone know that it wasn't locked. I got it!
Check the tapes. It was locked last week.
What's inside? What's inside?
So as you open it,
Yeah, of course we open it.
As you open it,
Fireball.
the first thing that catches your attention is a flash of something shiny.
I like the energy you bring into this.
As you find 15 platinum pieces.
Ooh. Divided by...
Does everyone see this or? Yeah, I opened it. I'm not even trying to hide it. 'Cause I don't know what's in
Well,
it.
the two of us are there, I imagine, and Aurora who guided you, so...
Oh, I got my nose is deep in a book right now.
Okay. In addition to the platinum pieces, you see a piece of paper that's kind of folded. One of the edges looks sort of raw and ripped, but it's sort of folded up in half. And you also see a few, you see what looks to be like a rose that is pristine in this chest. You also see a handful of grass that again is pristine. You even still get some of the scent of the flowers. And you see pieces that seem to have been cut off, but you see a electric blue jelly fungus that again is just perfectly preserved in this box. But that's what you find, the preserved herbs, the platinum, and the folded piece of paper.
Does the paper say anything?
And you open the paper. I don't think you would recognize it as anything that you have researched here, but the paper does look to be ripped out from a textbook or from some sort of thesis book of the library. It does have like a page number with what you see is almost, to your guess, the first initial and last name of the author of this initial paper, although the ink has kind of been smudged a little bit.
What's the name?
You get the A, a dot, And then you can make out the letters like N-U-R before everything just turns to like this ink blot. It looks like this paper has been opened and folded and opened, and it's soft.
So you can't read anything? It's just a name?
So the name's on the bottom, but what you do read from this piece of paper, you see elemental creatures composed of fire tend to be incredibly strong and durable, and do not appear to retain vulnerability to cold-type magics. However, these magics could slow such creatures down as it cools their molten exterior, rendering them immobile.
Did someone write that down fully because I missed about that?
Vulnerable to water, but...
Cold-type magics.
Cold magics.
And what you see as well is the cold magic sort of circled over and over and over again in inks. You see the words immobile underlined, underlined, underlined. And you see one scribble that just says temporary in the bottom corner with a big bold underline.
Wasn't there talk about, was it ice shard?
Something about an ice shard.
Yeah.
Don't remember.
I took better notes.
Split the party. Losing soul is not good. Nothing about ice shards.
Speaking of losing...
The aspect of ice, shard of a great calamity left on this plane.
Yeah.
There's a party over here tonight.
Okay, let's go.
Aurora just feels the impact of 3 platinum thrown at her while she's face down in a book.
Why throwing?
Guys, we got monies.
Elle picks one up and is like, really? That's what this is?
Hey, don't bite it. Everybody
I've never
bites it.
seen this before.
Alright. Speaking of losing soul is not good, Mrs. Q, as you are trying to ponder the situation with Professor Mordain, something that keeps catching out of the corner of your eye as you notice a patch of light gray fur kind of extending from one side of your snout to just under your eye, kind of swooping across your face.
Face tattoo.
A face tattoo. That patch that wasn't there before.
Okay.
Actually, you would all notice this. But I can't remember who was in the room at the time. I'm assuming Basil was there. I think Aurora, you were right next to her when it happened, and Apoc, you might have been behind. You remember seeing this in the middle of battle out of the corner of your eye when Mrs. Q was knocked unconscious.
Mrs. Quillam, it's very distinguished. Looks quite nice. But if you don't like it, I've got some concealer and some cover up that it can make it look like your regular fur, and no one would be the wiser.
Get ready with me.
Yeah.
This is cute.
Isn't it?
Touching her new Patrick White says, at my age, you're not scared of a few extra white hairs. She
Like I
doesn't
said,
care.
it looks great, but I've got everything you need if you want to be gussied up a bit.
Do you have my particular color?
No, but I could probably whip something up close to it.
Make your own colors.
Okay. I will keep that in mind for my next big do.
Your next camp spa day.
Lovely.
Your nose is in a book, yeah?
Yeah.
Are you doing anything in particular? Or just reading?
Reading it, trying to attune to it, but it's gonna take a while.
As you try to attune to this book and are just reviewing enamored by the.
And like taking notes in my own book and
Exactly.
copying over and reading.
You hear, and you didn't notice it at first, but now it's becoming more and more pronounced. A low, constant, like, vibration.
Ooh, pay double for that.
That is.
For goodness sake.
This vibration.
What's your nose?
That is almost just like buzzing. It's not really something you're hearing, more like something that's almost like reverberating in your chest. Kind of like when you're at a concert and the drum beats go off and you feel it in your chest cavity. That's what it feels like. And it just seems to get more and more pronounced the more attention you give it.
Okay, we'll keep pushing through.
Okay. Basil, did you want to do anything first thing when you wake up?
Okay. Can you remind me, if your character is trying to attune to something, that's can be done like in a short period of time, or like what's the length of time it requires?
It takes about an hour to attune to something.
Mm.
You're essentially trying to bind with whatever you're attuning to.
Okay. In that case, well, okay. Right, I'll choose to do this instead. So, playing into the character, I'll say, so Basil wakes up, he's stretching, he's like kind of like thinking over the previous night's battle, and he's like looking through his pack, and he finds these random boots. He has no idea where they came from. And he pulls them out, starts looking at them, but then he thinks, wow, these are really nice boots. So he puts them on and starts just like, just walking around in the boots and tuning with them. That's that. He's like looking around at the group and like, did you?
Where the hell are these boots?
But then he just like really likes the boots, so he's just like, maybe he's got a little skip in his step and he's just walking around the room.
I'm picturing, if anybody's watched How I Met Your Mother,
the red boots?
Ted with the red, the red boots.
I was picturing Puss in Boots.
That works too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Alright. As you, past Andrea took really good notes, now Andrea doesn't take any.
So we've dumped her down.
Yeah, pretty much. I rely on the videos.
Yeah.
As you start to walk around in these boots, and they're like get more and more comfy for you, and they're almost shaping to your foot a bit better the more you walk in them. By the end of this hour this morning, you notice that wherever your foot lands when you remove it, you start to see like teeny tiny little sprigs of green.
Oh,
Ooh.
Just start popping up
that's pretty cool.
in the shape of your footprints as you walk. And I don't know if this is going to be in D&D Beyond, but you can just take a note that you have boots of seed.
Ooh.
Spread that seed.
Where'd you get those?
So that's no, but they're in his bag. Like I do have an item in my inventory, which is why I said, "Oh, these boots." So, what would you like me to do?
Say that one more time.
So I do have an item in my inventory which I never attuned. And so those are the items that I'm talking about. So would you like me to switch it for the ones that you're talking about?
Okay, items in your inventory that you never attuned.
Tightrope threads.
Trents.
Oh, threads.
Oh, you already had the name. Okay. I had a
Yeah.
different one in my notes. Where did you get these from?
Is this something Cam gave you at some point?
I
He
believe.
went through a phase of buying gifts for people.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what I thought it was.
Okay. I apologize. I thought these were something you had found, and that's where I found these boots from. If what you have in here is something you already had and you were just trying to attune to them, then you can go ahead and attune to the tight rope treads.
Okay.
So instead of little green sprouts, you just feel a little more balanced.
Nice.
You found your zen.
Yeah, extra skip in my step, you know?
Yes.
You know, I got a bracelet that does the same thing. You ever remember those bracelets that they always sold at like fairs that were like balance bracelets?
Mm-hmm. You think the metal ones?
Yeah.
The little balls?
Yeah, exactly.
Alright. As you all take the first hour of your day, hitting on noon now, you hear a soft knocking at your door.
Steph wants to do something.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. In the morning, while everyone is kind of hanging around, Elle is going to take out some of her paper and just kind of write out a letter. She's going to fold it up. And then while Basil is skipping around the room, she's going to, like, skip with him.
Perfect.
And just kind of ask, like, hey, so you ripped a page out of my grandmother's dissertation, and I kind of want to know why. We didn't really get to discuss that with the urgency of the moment earlier.
Everybody ripped pages out of full books.
You're right.
I hate to be the librarian of the Avium because it sounds like every book is missing at least one page.
Yeah.
Correct.
You're right, Alan. I definitely owe you an explanation.
Grad pranks.
Maybe he like pulls out the paper and hands it to her, and he'll point at can't remember his first name. This is Zarak? No, what's his first name? The Zogma character.
Evie.
He points at Evie's name and says, I don't know how you are connected with this person, but I've never known anything good to come out of the House of Zogma. And if this Evie person is connected to all this, I need to find it.
Do you think they're a bad person?
If he's anything like his father, I've known no greater evil.
You're not gonna hurt this kid, are you?
He'll like hesitate, maybe even look down, and he'll just say, as a knight, I'll have to do whatever is right.
Hmm. Well, maybe kids aren't always like their parents.
Maybe.
My dad's a postman, and he's usually pretty good.
We'll have to see. But if we ever come face to face with this Evie,
Well, I think that's going to be my next mission. I've already found Emrys. It looks like we've got 2 more to find, so maybe just give him a chance.
he'll hesitate again, maybe kind of like scratch his chin, and he'll just like look it out and say, I will try, but there is a lot of baggage there. And he'll just kind of leave it at that. And he'll say, I'm sorry for ripping the page, and let her have it.
Okay. Elle's going to put it into her book of other stuff. She doesn't really understand what baggage means, but she'll just keep skipping around with Basil as he attunes to his shoes.
This whole time it was
Yeah.
skipping.
I have known no bigger evil than the House of Zogma.
Well, no, Sir Basil stopped skipping.
Oh, I envisioned us having this conversation and skipping the whole time.
All right. As that conversation wraps up and the hour wraps up, the soft knock appears. The soft knock comes from the front door to your dorm room, and you hear the dean's voice from just outside. Apologies for disturbing you, but it's time to go. I'm to send you back right away. Hello?
Mrs. Q gets up and opens the door. Well, she does a quick check to make sure everyone's decent, and then she opens the door.
Morning. You all look much better than before, but I'm to send you back to the council right away.
Rude.
Well, it was a late night, and you see the feathers on his face are like, just splayed to one side as he's trying to organize them.
The dean, Mrs. Q asks the dean, has Professor Mordain woken up?
So our clerics were able to remove the shell around him, but he hasn't woken yet. He's resting. If you want, I can send you a message when he wakes up, but we don't have any more time to waste, unfortunately. But come. As he starts to walk up the stairs.
Miss Q's like visibly frowning, because this dean is bothering her just a little bit, because like
Some major stuff just went down.
really went down, and he's all about keeping to a schedule, and that's dumb.
Community.
Mrs. Q is all about organization, but Mrs. Q thinks that there are more important things right now. And she is not all about him making a big fuss about, oh, I didn't get enough sleep last night. I almost died, and my friend actually did, so. Anyway, she's saying all of this in her head, she's not saying anything out loud. She's just looking.
No, she's actually saying it.
I feel like we understand all of that just from the frown.
Yeah.
Good.
To be clear, you did have a chance to relay the events of the night before to the dean the night before when you dropped off the Professor Mordain. I just did not want to roleplay that.
Fine.
So he is made aware, and you do see as you leave the dorm room that there does appear to be like a higher presence around. You can almost feel like static in the air as best you can describe it. So some extra enchantments. You see the professors kind of walking groups of students from one side or from one room to the other, just sort of shepherding them around. It is in full force, like midday, where the Avium is just busy with students going to classes, and you see a much bigger presence of the professor, as well as some of the security, some that you recognize from the night before, and others just kind of sort of posted at the entrance to the library where students would be left alone. So your words seem to have made an impact on the dean, but you were supposed to be in Alderheart by now, and yes, he is trying to stick to his schedule. Do you follow the dean though?
Yep.
I assume so, yeah.
Grumpy face.
Grumpy face. All right. You're able to follow the dean up the main winding staircase once more, out to one of the bridgeway platforms. And waiting a moment or two, one of the bridgeways does connect and just pause at an island that you recognize with a large circular structure that you initially teleported to. As the dean leans across and walks across the bridge, leading you to the teleportation room of the Avium. As you all step into the large circular hall, the sigil on the floor of this hall, just kind of glowing with a very gentle blue. The dean sort of turns to you once more, just trying to brush down. It's like brushing a cowlick, essentially. And he just kind of like gives a little nod in your direction. We can't thank you enough. I know it was harrowing, and I wasn't planning for your assistance that night, but if you ever need more knowledge, You are always welcome here at the Avium. And he sort of reaches into his robes and hands towards your group an amulet very similar to the guest passes that you had before, with the exception of the crest and wings of the Avium, in this case, is coated in a bronze. As he hands it towards your group. Should you ever need to come and have access to the Avium once more, to its libraries or to its knowledge, this will give you, well, essentially faculty level access, so you're welcome back anytime you please. Hopefully under better circumstances now that the culprit has been identified. I don't have much to give you, but if you do end up having some time in Alderheart, I know many of the shop owners there, and if you tell them that you know me, you can tell them that I'll make it up to them if they're able to help you with anything you need. That's about all I can offer, and I'm sorry.
Professor's discount?
Essentially, more or less.
Don't regret giving back that necklace.
I know that the owner of I believe her shop is called the Diagonal Alley. She was a student here at one point. She actually did her thesis with me, so... Yeah, that was her name.
Yeah, I work for her.
Oh, do you now?
Yeah.
She's brilliant potioneer.
Got some of hers right here. I'd lip up like a skin flap.
Why?
Because that's what fit that motion.
Nice.
Sometimes I picture myself as a horizontal boar, sometimes I picture myself as a vertical boar.
What?
Oh, goodness. So what am I to do with you?
Yes, and that's why we love you.
Mrs. Q takes the amulet from his hand.
Alright. You can add a Avium faculty amulet to your inventory. Alright, as soon as I activate the sigil, you'll have just a handful of seconds to walk through it. This will actually bring you back to the, just sort of a little chamber off of the council chambers. So I know that, I'm not sure who's going to be there, but either Bertold or the speaker of the council will be there to greet you. And I wish you luck in everything. Again, thank you. We couldn't have done this without you. And to you, good Sir Knight, as the dean kind of just makes eye contact with you, your sister is currently under the care of our clerics, and she will be okay.
Thank you. That means the world to me.
Of course you.
And then maybe you see Sir Basil kind of look down and kind of thinking, realizing that he's not going to have the chance to actually say goodbye to his sisters. He'll just say to the dean, please tell them that I'm always thinking of them. I wish I could do more, and that I love them.
What?
I'm gonna open my book, tear out a page. Here, write a note for them.
Oh my god.
I have parchments.
Which book do you open?
Not the good one.
Okay. Just making sure.
Exactly that. One for sage, one for lemongrass, and ask the dean please to give these letters to the sisters.
I will deliver them personally. Absolutely. He tucks them into the pocket of his robes.
Wait! I have a letter too!
Yes, of course.
Ella's gonna pull out the letter that she wrote this morning. If Master Wayra comes back, can you please give her this?
He kind of like kneels down to your level, Elle, before reaching out to take the letter, and just sort of nods. She is a strange one sometimes, and I'll make sure she gets this. Pockets it.
Either her or Serafina. Have you ever seen her?
The name doesn't ring a bell, but I know the last time Master Wayra was here was with another. Looked just like her and looked just like you, to be perfectly honest.
Yeah, that's my mom.
Okay. I'll make sure if she
I thought
comes back, she gets it.
And then she kind of stops herself. She starts to talk more and then realizes this is more than she wants to share, so she stops.
All right.
Wait, one more thing. I pull out the
Yes.
piece of paper from the chest, the lockbox.
Mhm.
The box, I guess. It wasn't locked.
It was locked!
Do you do you recognize this name? I just show him the A.Ner.
He kind of like takes it, looks at it.
Detect thoughts.
Okay. Just surface thoughts?
Yep.
Nice.
What you initially get is the council is going to be mad if I can't get them back within the next couple minutes. But then you do get a bit of curiosity, kind of like, wish I could read it. Hard to see. Kind of holds it up to the light, and as he does, you get the not ringing a bell. Interesting though. Before closing it back up. Apologies, no. Is this important?
Well, that creepy professor in the basement had it.
Professor Mordain?
No, the one that we told you about last
right,
night.
yes, I apologize.
The one that I'm assuming we explained everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, unless there's something you wanted to leave out.
Yeah.
No professor. by the-
Birdman!
I'm leaving out that I have the book.
Yes.
No professor by that description, as I told you last night, works here.
Okay.
If he was here, he's not a professor. So.
Okay.
Okay. Anything else before I send you on your way?
Mrs. Q like no, she just has to like pull, like just ruffle his feathers just a little bit more because she's a little bit miffed. And so she just like goes and like looks at everyone and just tries to drag it out, even though I think we're done.
Well, if there's nothing else, then as you're like hemming and hawing a bit, Mrs. Q, the dean kind of holds out his hands. His eyes close as he just starts to murmur an incantation under his breath. One hand starting to draw an arcane sigil in front of the runes carved into the floor, and the runes start to grow brighter and brighter and brighter until they are this vivid blue, starting to almost stand up from the floor itself. And as the dean finishes his incantation, opens his eyes, looks at all of you. Run. Go. 6 seconds. 3, 2. You feel the same sort of feeling, a lifting almost from, a little traumatic for Apoc, Aurora, and Mrs. Q, who not 8 hours ago had a giant claw wrapped around your chests being swung around in the air. It's a very similar feeling as you're almost kind of picked up and flown a distance in a matter of a split second before you reappear, catching your breath and stumbling just for a moment in a different room. Walls made out of wood once more instead of stone. The light, very dappled, coming in above you. You can hear the sound of the leaves ruffling through the trees as you are back in Alderheart. Across from you, as you all catch your breath and stumble, start to just stand back up straight. You do see the, I believe it was a raptor, the tall, slender raptor that you recognize as Bertolt, the member of the council. The speaker bit is right-hand man, essentially, accompanied by the short, stout Strig, who you recognize as Riffin, who was escorting the speaker to Brackenmill. Wow, it's been a while. Bertolt, with large eyes, kind of looks at you as you arrive, jumping, and is ever so slightly before. You're back? Great. Okay, it has been a while. We have been waiting for you. You look exhausted. Are you okay?
It's been a fun 24 hours.
Yes, the dean did mention that things were going on, and his message late last night was concerning. We've sent a member of our team over there, a member of our council, to see what was going on, so hopefully we'll have more answers and a more full report, but we have certainly been waiting for you. The tenders are set to arrive here late afternoon, but since you are back, if there is anything you wish to do in the few hours you have, we'd love for you to meet with the tenders when they arrive.
We still have a few hours?
Well, they seem to have been delayed.
By what?
We don't know exactly.
Can't ask them?
The last message they sent made it seem like everything was all right and it was simply a scouting mission, but we haven't heard from anything since. We are hoping that it's simply a matter of running out of resources and that they'll be here soon. If not, we will have to wait for tomorrow.
Could have had another day in the Avium.
Well, no, we got it. It was a rough day.
If it's simply a scouting mission and they detoured to the north, they might have seen something in the grove that is of useful to our conversation, which is why they decided to take the risk.
Okay.
But we are able to send a few more messages to them today, but hopefully we won't have to, should everything go all right.
Call and check in, send a message. No?
To the tenders?
Just make sure they're okay, yeah.
We have Aylin working on that right now. She's been in communication with them.
Okay.
The message from them to say they went scouting came in about an hour ago, so we're hoping they won't be too much longer.
Cool.
Perhaps we can get some provisions for the next phase of our journey, given what we know.
Did you find anything at the Avium? You went there for a reason.
Well, we found Sir Basil's sister, so that was a nice little family reunion.
Okay, great.
We found out that the Avium's pretty hoity-toity,
Well, yes.
and we found that they have a lot of books. We're not terribly good at leaving these books intact.
That last part's concerning.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
I personally am a collector of books. I wouldn't want to see damage, but these folks, they don't have any care for manuscripts.
I resent that comment, says Mrs.
Yeah. I don't think I ripped a book. I think I stole one, though.
Okay, I was trying to not point any fingers at one particular person, but
Okay.
it was the knight and his honor. He just ripped pages left, right, and center.
You hear Riffin start to laugh. This like deep throaty chuckle as he tries to maintain composure but just sort of loses it a bit. Bear told the raptor, I'm going to pretend I didn't hear that because that is technically not allowed.
It's okay, we're faculty now.
Yeah.
That's quite...
And we found a bunch of money.
That's great.
Do you have anyone who in Alderheart who, other than the tenders who are on their way, that are experts in history of the Scorched Grove? Anyone on staff?
You see Bertolt just kind of think for a second. The only one who might know something would be Aylin, the tender that we have here, who used to work alongside her sister in the Grove. Aylin has since agreed to be part of our communication link with the Tenders, which is why she resides here now. You met her when you came to the council chamber the first time. You're welcome to speak with her, and perhaps she even has an update as to when her sister and the other Tenders are to make it here to Alderheart.
That would be great.
Okay. Aylin does reside within the, well, you see Bertolt kind of giggle to himself before just looking up into the trees. You are at the topmost ring where the council chambers are, and above you is just massive branches all crisscrossing each other with these massive leaves. And he just sort of looks up. Aylin resides a little higher in the tree. She's not one for staying on the rings necessarily. If you give me a moment, I can call her back down. But you are welcome to use the chambers. There are no meetings today, for Aylin's comfort at the very least. Come.
Is Aylin a first name or a last name?
Aylin is her only name that she's given us.
She feeling okay?
Aylin?
Yeah.
She's feeling just fine.
I got it.
Ah, damn it.
Carry on.
Bertolt genuinely looks confused.
I had to get there before Sean said it.
Bertolt does sort of at this point just kind of like turn and walk out of the room. Riffin's still kind of like trying to compose himself. You can follow if you want.
Well, we got time, and what? Okay, I don't care. What do you guys want to do?
They have an hour to kill.
I talk to Aylin and maybe see if we can get any like potions or spell scrolls for
Pick the dean
like
up on the top, or
cold stuff.
Yeah.
we have the dean's essentially MasterCard, credit card.
I don't think that's quite what he said.
I mean,
We have the Dean's
No,
senior
that's
discount.
exactly what he said.
55 plus.
Yeah.
I was wondering if you guys wanted to come to my Poppy's place.
Poppies?
Poppy's. Because maybe we can get some money off Poppy before we go shopping.
Sure. I mean, I'm going to get some money from Tabitha, too, now that my job's done.
It's true.
Do we have time for all of that? We can make that work, right?
I know.
Poppy's on the top level, so he's pretty close to where we're at.
Ooh, fancy
He
boy.
is a fancy boy.
Yeah.
Sounds fab. Maybe you can do that while I talk with Aylin,
Okay,
and then we can sync up
perfect. Split the party.
Mm-hmm.
Elle, you're with me.
We haven't learned our lesson, have we?
I'm coming with you, too.
No.
No? Why
No,
not?
you stick with Mrs. Q.
But we're going to...
I trust you.
wait, what?
Okay.
Poppy will love Elle.
All right.
How much money does he actually have?
Are you sure you want to take Elle?
He'll love you. Okay.
Alright, so who's going where?
Elle's coming with me to Poppy's place.
All right.
Okay.
All right.
Apoc, Mrs. Q's talking to Aylin. Apoc and Basil, where are you guys going?
I guess I'll just follow Mrs. Q.
You don't have to. It's quite all right. Go wherever you want.
No, I mean,
You want to go mooch off Aurora's dad?
well, I feel like Figure's got something there. So
Okay, I'm gonna go to. I'm gonna go straight to Tabitha's then.
Okay.
Talk about work.
Wow, so well behaved of you. But
money.
Okay. All right. So, since we're splitting up, we're going to start with the people who aren't leaving this place first. I like how you moved it closer to the mic to do that. So, Mrs. Q. Basil is staying with Mrs. Q as well? Question mark. Okay. So as your group decides to split, with you two staying on the top ring for right now, and even staying within the council chambers, it is a short hallway before you're able to get back into this Colosseum-esque area, this beautiful open Colosseum. And you see Bertolt at the very front, by where you remember the podium to be, although there is no podium there right now. And descending from the boughs, you see Bertolt sort of looking up and watching. Descending from the boughs in this essentially massive eagle form, you see a bright green with deep blue tinged feathers, diving and sweaving their way through the trees before opening up their wings to land right in front of Bertolt. As they shrink down before their feet touch the ground into the form of Aelin. The very morning dove looking Luma with a bright pink feathers on her neck, dressed in a very simple, almost looks to be like hand woven garb. There is what's the word? It's not a crown, but there is a adornment, a headdress almost like a flower crown made just solely of leaves that just kind of is sitting around, almost woven into her feathers on her head. Pardon?
Like a laurel?
Coronet, tiara,
No.
diadem.
Circlet.
I think it's just headdress is what I'm looking for. But they're almost
Flower
like
crown?
woven. They're kind of woven not together, but into her feathers in a circlet sort of situation. As she is speaking in very soft tones towards Bertolt, and as you approach, she sort of just looks over to you, a smile kind of on her face as she kind of waves in your direction. Just, I heard you wanted to speak with me?
Yes. We had some, we've recently got some information about the Scorched Grove, and we wanted to talk to you about your experiences there, what you know about it, and maybe we can help each other understand.
You understand, my sister is the one who knows more. I haven't been there in years.
Yes, we'll speak to her presumably soon when she arrives, but I thought it might be worthwhile picking your brains first.
Sure. What did you have? What questions can I help you with?
What are the current theories as to the origins of the Scorched Grove?
Well, the Scorched Grove, as far as the tenders are told, has been burning for centuries. There was a great calamity, a cataclysm, that just, to our knowledge, razed the entire northern side of the forest, and what resulted was the Scorched Grove. It's been kept under control fairly well until more recently, as in the past 50 years or so, when things started to get more and more dangerous to be in the grove, and it started to push our boundaries. But as far as we know, she sort of smiles to herself. The legend is that the elements became out of sync with one another, and that's what caused the calamity. But that's just a legend. We know that the Scorched Grove is a place where it seems the great rhythm of Alderheart doesn't reach, and things seem off balance. It's sort of hard to explain, especially when I've been away for so long. But it's certainly not normal, and it's not natural. I don't believe it was caused by natural means, and nor does my sister, so at least she'll tell you the same thing.
That's very interesting. What changed 50 odd years ago when it started to get more out of control, and what methods do you use to control it?
For the methods of control, we have groups that are set up along essentially the boundary between the Grove and the rest of Humblewood, and we just simply try to, well, speak to the earth, speak to the wind, and speak to the fire to try and keep it at bay, and for the longest time it's worked. I'm not sure what happened 50 years ago, I'm sorry. I just know that the flares have gotten worse, the barriers have been pushed, and we have lost a lot more tenders in a very short period of time. Part of the reason why I moved to Alderheart.
When you say that you speak to the earth, do you mean that like you're using magic?
We are... Yes, but I don't believe it's magic in a normal sense. The tenders, as the legend goes, we stem from children of the initial elements, if you believe that or not. And we are able to connect a bit better than most. Where you hear wind through the leaves, we hear voices. That's with everything. And we simply try to reason with it and speak to it and try to control it.
Hmm.
They're really good.
Okay.
Like I said, my sister will know more. Rosemary, right?
Yes.
I remember you from the interpretive dance a few weeks ago. That one certainly stuck with me. It was a pleasure to watch. Although the message was concerning. That was an interesting medium.
Yeah. I think I could have chosen a clearer medium.
Perhaps. But you got the attention you sought, so.
I have great concern about the Scorched Grove and the fact that it is encroaching on livable land. And we don't seem to have control over it. I'll be interested to hear what your sister has to say about what has changed over the last era that has made it so much more difficult to maintain control.
I agree as well. It's been a while since I've even seen her, so I'm glad she's making the journey as dangerous as it is, but I did confirm that she will be here within a few hours. So the scouting mission seems to be going well at the very least, but whatever they detoured for is a bit concerning. But at the very least they're safe, so.
Do you know why it is they detoured?
She did mention that there was some sort of disturbance. They are flying, so from that high up you're able to see a lot more, and it seems like they found something moving in the grove. Different from some of the smaller creatures. They just flew to check it out.
Okay.
Good to know what you're up against if you are about to venture in there. But
I'm sure we're up for anything.
with an attitude like that.
There's nothing you can't do if you've had a good cup of tea beforehand.
I can get behind that. Although it's been a while since she kind of leans in closer. There's really no good tea here in this city.
No, right?
I know! Alright.
Well, I think that's all of my questions, but that's been very helpful. I'll have a ponder on that and speak to your sister. What was your sister's name?
It is. Oh no. Trista.
Trista. Okay.
I had a name. It's nowhere to be found now.
Take your time. Don't.
There's no rush. I have notes to make.
Oh, this was a better name. That's why I picked this one over the other one. Her name is Astra.
Astra. Okay.
Ask what their last name is.
Last name?
Last name?
No? No last name.
We just go by our first names.
Ah, excellent. Well, Aline. Ella. What was it?
Aelin.
Aylin, thank you. It's because I know someone by the other name. Is it confusing? Anyway, thank you very much. Will we see you again before we leave?
Yes. I will be here with my sister. So.
Wonderful. Okay, then we will see you in a few hours. If you happen to remember anything else that you think we should know before we head out, do let us know.
Absolutely. And if she does arrive early, I'll just give you a shout.
Perfect.
All right. Concluding with Mrs. Q. We'll go to the lone wolf for right now. Okay, if we're good to hop back in. Again, I'm so sorry. You. What's up with you? You're gonna go see Tabitha?
Yeah.
Alright.
Apoc chugs a white opalescent potion that has lamb fluff in it and walks through the door of Tabitha's.
Yes. Everything I wanted.
Did you only have the...
No, I have one more.
Yeah, my count you had 2 left. But
I do.
I had 3 left.
One of them
Okay.
was given a can.
One of them was given a can.
Yeah.
Okay. So the white fluffy one,
Yeah, the white fluffy one.
and you walk through the door.
Hoping it's open.
We might have to come back to you. As you chug the potion outside, it starts to feel pretty gurgly.
It would be like as I'm walking in, because if I'm in need of some medical aid, for whatever reason, at least Tabitha would be there.
As you chug the potion while walking in, your stomach starts to get a little gurgly, and your tongue starts to get a little dry as you cough a little bit, and you cough out some of the fuzz that was in the potion. And as you're looking down at your hand, you feel kind of weird. You can't tell why, but all of a sudden, everything just got so much taller around you.
That's what I think it was.
What are you gonna do as a sheep for an hour?
Walk around the shop.
I think sheeps are pretty stupid too. As you just sort of
become. Sorry, is it like his body becomes a sheep, or his entire his mind also become a sheep?
Apoc is a sheep now. In every way, shape, and form, that sheep is a sheep.
Is Tabitha there?
Well, at this point in time, you can't see over the counter because you're a sheep. But you do hear some boxes that just kind of fall, and you hear... You don't understand what's being said, but you do hear a voice coming from behind the counter.
Can I gnaw on the is there a counter or something?
There's a counter. There's a counter with very much like a bar kind of flip to get around, so you can actually walk under or gnaw on the corner of that counter.
Oh, I don't know what I'm doing anymore. I'm just looking for food and water, food and water. I'm a sheep. That.
Stupid. Better than the other one that you have, I think.
We do not have to roleplay this if you don't want to.
Well, I mean...
Yes, you do.
You start to gnaw on the corner, and you see this humanoid figure with arms full of boxes come around the corner, and you being a sheep don't know any better, non-moving as the figure trips over you, the boxes going all akimbo before just like looking at you very confused, and is like face to face with you, and just the lips are moving and you're hearing something but you have no idea what's being said.
Clarifying question. Is this a sheep that is now wearing all of Apoc's gear? Or is even his gear now?
Is it a sheep with a backpack?
Yeah, and like a bow and like his little frog hat.
We've already established in this episode it's all skin flaps.
Oh,
Okay.
Sean, stop saying that. No, in this case, everything has polymorphed with him into a sheep.
Okay, cool.
So she just kind of looks at you
Please.
before kind of just like reaching out to give you a scritch. And then goes to just try and like pick you up. That failing, she's going to go and try and find a little leash. Essentially, she's going to take about 30 minutes to be able to walk you out of the, out of her shop. And she will descend with you on a little leash down the elevator. And as she goes through the trunk market trying to figure out who lost this sheep, as the hour ticks over, you're able to transform back. With like a collar and a rope held by Tabitha at the other end. And you're finally able to understand when you transform back as she's speaking with someone. I don't know, the sheep just got into my shop. It's so weird. You mean to tell me the sheep isn't yours? You're the like sheep farmer here. Come on.
Hey, Tabby Cat.
Jesus.
So that last potion you gave me, I took it before entering your shop. Don't remember what happened. Here we are.
Nice. I respect that. Let's go back. Sorry to bother you. Didn't mean to yell at you. Didn't realize that the sheep was actually a guy. So we're just gonna go.
Cool.
The farmer just looks like a mouth agape kind of thing. So you're able to make it back up to your shop. So what's up?
I mean, I've been working through these potions.
Mm-hmm.
Some of them are pretty cool. Did you want a list?
Yeah, can you also help me clean up these boxes since you're the reason why I tripped and fell?
Yeah,
Cool.
that's fair. Listen, there's still one that I haven't taken yet. It's this one with the tongue in it. It's pink.
Oh yeah, I still don't know what that does.
All right, 1 second.
Yes. Just fucking balls to the wall.
We're gonna have to come back to it. Okay, you take it.
Yeah. I don't think it did anything.
I can't understand you. Everything's backwards.
Ah.
Anything it did, even at Niage?
No, you're still. Oh, that made sense. Yeah, that made sense.
He wants us to join the Navy?
Okay, talks backwards. Interesting. I don't know how long that lasts for.
Okay, let's move boxes. I just keep working with the boxes.
Okay.
Yeah.
After about a minute.
Okay.
You can talk back normally.
Damn.
Alright,
So
so we're here now. That one did that. The red
Okay.
and blue ones shifted healing and damage.
She takes up this whole, like, thick tome,
I-
flips to some random page and starts writing.
I tried to heal my friend after giving him that red one and it killed him. Kind of buyers beware kind of thing. You might want to put a
Yeah,
warning.
Put a label, got it.
The one with the fizzy bubbly water, we put that in a beer and a whole bunch of us like lifted for a few seconds.
You spiked a drink with that?
Yeah, it was a drinking contest. It was pretty fun.
Okay, alright.
And nobody got hurt. It's fine, it's fine.
So probably levitation. That's what I thought at that point.
The iron
That's
muscle
obvious.
one.
Yeah, we did that one in the shop, I think, right?
Maybe. There's a lot. The one that had liquid fire in it made us really bright.
Oh, that's pretty cool. Okay, like a human torch or something?
Yeah, exactly.
Or Borean torch?
Yeah. Yeah. The gold one, it was either really good or really bad, kind of just like a balance between the two.
Okay.
Basically, any extremes in what you were doing either worked or it didn't.
Okay.
I think that was it. Oh yeah, there was that rainbow colored one. It actually made 2 other potions.
I should charge extra for that one.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
It gave me another one of the red and blue ones and the muscly one. And I think that was it. Yeah, you saw the tongue one and the sheep one, so here we are.
Cool. Okay, great. Love it. That's really useful. See, I didn't have any more of those, so I'm going to have to try and remember the recipe, and maybe I'll need you to test them again. But seems like nothing killed you, so that's great. Nothing caused any physical damage. Well, except for that one you said that killed your friend. But I feel like that's on you.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, it's part of the hazard pay, right?
Exactly. Speaking of, she you hear like a box fall from behind the counter before she pulls out a little sack.
Mm-hmm.
I have this saved for you. This is yours. Thank you so much.
Perfect. I feel around. It feels like 200 gold.
Yes, as you fondle the pouch, it feels like 200 gold.
I mean, I don't know what I'm supposed to do. I trust it. I trust. Tabitha seems like she's on the up and up. Hey, I got some other stuff too. I just found these. And I hold out the box with the roses, the grass, the electric blue jelly fungus. Any of this interesting to you? Don't really know what it does.
She pulls up holds up the fungus and kind of takes a sniff, takes a little lick. These are all kind of potion ingredients. They're pristine though, they were freshly picked. Literally as if you were out in the forest and just picked them.
Yeah.
How long have they been in here?
I mean, let me think really hard if I think any of my friends might want them.
Oh, don't get me wrong, I don't want them. I got a lot of this.
Okay.
It looks like it just, as soon as I pick this stuff, it starts to wilt. You know how hard it is to preserve this stuff?
You think the box is enchanted?
I don't know, maybe.
Okay. We found it in the basement of the school.
Lots of things can be in basements of school. That's pretty weird.
Yeah. Okay, I'll keep it. That's cool though. The box might be magic.
Do you want me to check?
That would help. Is the box magic?
I can do it for 5 gold.
I'm sure.
Cool. She pulls out a little pearl from a pouch and just sort of rubs it in between her fingers to go ahead and cast Identify. And she identifies the chest as a traveling garden.
Ooh. That's fun. I know just the person who would like this.
So essentially with the traveling garden...
Yeah, my friend Basil makes all of these things grow whenever he walks.
Yeah? Oh,
yeah,
that's pretty cool.
It's perfect for him. Love it.
So essentially you can preserve up to 6 flora samples indefinitely.
Cool.
Requiring no sunlight or water.
Nice. Awesome. All right. I mean, I think that's all. Did you have any more work you want done?
Well, I do have more potions for testing if you're interested. Unless you got any kind of fun or new ingredients, I'd be willing to pay for those for my potions.
Oh man, I got bird feathers. Got a lot of those.
Those are kind of common though. Even I've got those. Got any I don't know, I heard there's a cave that you can wrangle slimes in. Never had anything like that cross my path before, so if you got any of that, or...
To be honest, I used all my slime already.
Got anything cool?
Maybe my friends do. I don't really pick up goo. I usually just make stuff with goo.
Yeah,
and that falls apart. Can I buy some potions off you?
Sure, yeah,
what do you got?
absolutely. She her shop was never in the best of arrays to begin with, and now it is bordering on kind of messy, but not really.
Okay.
As you look around, she so I got this guy. She pulls out this Erlenmeyer flask with a cork. It's just solid orange.
Okay.
So this guy, pretty cool, had somebody else test it, so I know that it's actually like, A-okay and super good to use. So for this one, you might want to drink it before a fight, because when you do, you can like deal some extra damage. That is if you do anything like with arrows or like something pointy that can like pierce through, or something that might cause some like blunt force trauma, or if you like slash, you do a little bit of extra damage with this guy.
Can it change the damage?
Not this guy, but this one can.
Can it
and
make
she pulls out a like blue one.
Perfect. Cold damage? Ice damage? Frost damage?
Let's see, what did this guy say? She starts to flip through her grimoire a bit more. This one's force, but I can make you an ice damage one if you want.
Can you make me a cold one? We might need a bunch where I'm going.
Sure. She starts to scribble.
How
many you want?
If you can do... How much are they?
They are... Well, for this guy here, I was actually going to charge 75 gold pieces for him for the force damage. Because you helped me out a little bit, I could probably, make it for the same without any upcharge for cold.
75. Can I get 3 of them?
3 of them? Sure.
Yeah, 225 total?
Yes.
Yeah. What was staff discount? We're workers of the Avium now?
Okay.
Okay, no staff discount.
Why would I give you a staff discount?
Well, I work for you, but then the Avium also said that we could get discounts at shops.
Discounts at shop? Who said that at the Avium?
Dean?
If it was a student, don't believe them.
No,
I
it was-
was a student. I used to say that stuff.
I swear it's the Dean. Dean.
Oh!
Dean.
Gabe? Oh, he's hilarious!
Dean Winsworth.
Yeah!
Gabe?
Yeah, his name's Gabriel.
Huh. Look
He
at
was
that.
my thesis dissertation, or my dissertation supervisor. He's
Perfect.
awesome.
Said no student ever.
No, he really was.
So maybe 70 gold each? 60 gold each? What's the discount?
Well, I know that he's done a couple favors for me, and I can always call on him if I need, anything that I'm missing from my stocks. So he's definitely been able to help me out there.
Okay.
You know what? Let's just say 60 gold each, 180 total.
Okay.
For 3.
Alright, three cold damage potions. Sounds good.
Cool. Yeah, soonest I'll have these ready because this one took me like 2 days to brew for 3 of them. If you come back in like 2 to 3 days, I should have them done.
Okay.
Okay. Looking for anything else?
Nah, I'm kind of poor now, so that's that.
Is there like a little voice in the back of Apoc's head that reminds him that we are leaving in like a few hours and will not be back in 2 or 3 days?
No. I don't think we're leaving. I think we're just meeting with people.
I'm leaving with them.
Well, I mean, he doesn't remember. He doesn't remember that. It's just how it is.
You can write to her, get some courier.
Okay. Anything else at Tabacus?
That's it.
Alright.
There's no point in buying healing potions. I gave my friends them and they just forget about it.
I was gonna say, yeah. Alright, you can always...
Yeah, I have 2.
I don't
Oh my gosh.
Check your inventories.
I have 2 as well.
You can always like come back to these shops or like even just by text ask if there's anything in there, so no worries at all.
Yeah.
But we'll move on to Elle and Aurora. I'm gonna need water for this.
Hey, Al. So, we're heading over to my folks' place, Mama and Poppy. But I just want to like prepare you a little bit that Mama is super friendly, super nice, but don't get on her bad side. And Poppy loves his family more than anything else in the world, but he's a very disciplined business person. So you kind of got to make sure you don't get him mad either. Very strict.
Well, what can you tell me something that I would do to make them mad so that I don't do it?
You know what? You're young enough. I think they'll probably let a lot slide. Just if I give you like a signal, just to like ease off, just quiet up.
What's the signal?
You know what? You tell me what you want the signal to be.
Well, one time when my brother wanted me to stop doing something, he just like smacked me on the back of the head.
Sounds good.
Okay.
Okay.
That's nasty.
All right. So we're gonna walk over to the estate.
Okay. So, what does your estate look like as you walk up to it? You tell me.
It is opulent, as far as a opulent estate in the trees would be. Like it's mostly wood, but wherever they can like inlay gold, they do. Like gold is a heavy feature in terms of like the architectural design. It's kind of maybe like tarnished a bit just with the weather because it's built in with like rain or what have you because we're pretty high up. And it is, from the outside, it looks very, like, when you look at it, it looks very fancy, but if you look really closely, you can see that there's, like, guards kind of all over the place, and, like, just people watching. They're not, like, brandishing weapons, but it's very defended.
Awesome.
For lack of a better description.
And you knowing exactly what to look out for with these guards or these watchers. You see them kind of like nod a little as you approach.
Hey guys, she's with me. All good, and I hold your hand, Elle, as we walk in.
Yeah, just
She's just staring up at all of us like, wow, you live in a castle? She's never seen a house this big before.
Yeah, you never have. Not at all.
Nope. I live in a hut.
Yep. But definitely easy enough to walk up to the door. You feel like eyes boring into your back as you walk up to the door. Knock on it. Do you knock actually, or do you just walk in?
I would just walk in.
Okay.
Yeah. As
you just walk in, the like heavy door being pushed in, like no creaking. This is like pristine.
I would call out. It's like, is Poppy home? I want to talk to him.
As you call out this massive, beautiful foyer, like a staircase just kind of lining up one side, you start to hear footsteps, like walking and then walking a little faster as you call out, and around the corner in like this like silk dressing gown with like big feathers around the sides. You see your like mother burst around the corner.
Just run, hug, just big hug.
Oh, my little sugar cookie, you're back. It's so nice to see you.
Oh, I am sweet. And I just big hugs, and I like bury into her.
Elle, you see this.
Did you let go of Elle's hand, or did she get dragged along with you?
No, I'd like just completely forget you're there.
Elle, you see this very similar to Aurora, very tall, just white furred Vulpin. These like bright blue eyes. You can see like a little like gold feathered fur clip that's just kind of pinned behind one ear, some like big hoop earrings, this like chain necklace, and it smells in this place like the most expensive perfume of flowers, just like smacking you in the face, this wall of scent. And as you're hugging your mother, she kind of just like, let me look at you, it's been so long, it seems like it's been so long, how is it in the big bad world out there? You look great, you look a little tired, but we can fix that.
I immediately burst into tears.
Oh.
And I just like hug and hold really tightly. And it's like, it's scary out there, and I brought a friend because I got a story to tell you.
Oh, sweetheart, anything.
You know that is Poppy here? Because I want to talk to him too. But like, you know that thing that Poppy does to people that don't pay their bills?
She kind of looks up at Elle at this point and just sort of, yeah.
It's okay. I trust her.
I'm aware.
Yeah. Well, that thing happened to me, and my friend here saved me from it.
What?
Yeah. I just wanted to. It's just nice to be home.
Okay, if you're gonna tell your Poppy, you probably shouldn't tell your Poppy because he's been worried sick about you and he wouldn't want me saying this.
I'm safe though. Look, I'm
worried.
I'm like.
You are.
Good.
So you saved my little sugar cookie? Who are you? What's your name? You're so small. Do you even eat?
Hi.
Hi, sweetheart. What's your name?
Elle.
Sorry.
You're doing so well.
If you're a friend of Aurora's, you're a friend of mine. Come here, sweetheart. Let me give you a hug. Let me take you in. You are so small. You definitely need to stay here and eat. Let me feed you a little bit. I know that Janan just took cookies out of the oven. Okay, Elle. She just like scoops you up into. She is very tall. She just kind of gives you a big hug. She says, "You saved my little girl, my little sugar cookie. Okay. Your puppy's just with someone right now, but he should be finishing up a little bit sooner. Don't mind if you hear any shouting from up there. He's been in a real bad mood since you left. He misses you, but he wouldn't want me saying that.
Well,
it's so good to have you back.
Well, we were in town, and like we are planning on hitting the road again. But I wanted to just let you know I'm safe and just kind of introduce you to more than a friend. This little girl is a star, and I think she deserves at least some type of reward for saving me.
Absolutely. Of course, sweetheart. Why are you going back out again?
Well, it's complicated. I know I've only been away for a couple weeks, but a lot's happened.
Yeah, it sure sounds like it, but why?
I'm spreading my humble folk wings, so to speak.
But yeah, you're supposed to do that safely, where you're just gonna make some connections and come back to the family. You're not supposed to go out and.
I'm doing that.
Aurora.
I saw him. I saw Maitland. I can bring him back.
Sweetheart, we talked about this.
I said I'm not leaving until I bring him back. Or I'm not coming home until I bring him back.
It was a nice dream when you left, but we talked about this, and us letting you go was because you were going to come back
because
with a new connection for your puppy.
I'm an adult now. I can make my own choices, and family is more important to me than anything else. And that's why I came home to see you guys, to let you know I'm safe and that I'm with very strong people. Even this little girl, she's strong beyond her years. So.
Wow. You see her kind of like fix some mascara. We're just gonna have to see what your puppy says, because he's not gonna be happy about you going back out. He wasn't happy the first time. He's not gonna be happy this time. And
hey, I can put on the charm. Don't worry about Poppy.
Well, I always worry about your puppy. He's been working too hard since you left.
And that's why he loves you.
Well, I mean, he should be finished up upstairs, but you know what? You should all stay for dinner. You and your little friend Elle, you guys should stay for dinner, because you know what? Your puppy was able to get some branzino in from the coast, and it's the first time in a really long time that we've had some branzino in here.
I love branzino.
So if this isn't a time
favorite.
to celebrate it, Sean.
It's my favorite.
What's branzino?
You are doing this so well. My gosh.
Okay, I'm gonna.
Can we get the branzino to go?
No, you eat branzino at a table with your family as you're supposed to.
It's true.
Okay,
Elle, you cool sticking around a little longer?
No, you got it. You have the acrylic nails, and you just gotta start wiping the hair out of your face. Go see your puppy. We'll see what he says, and if the branzino's done, then you're gonna stay, because I'm not gonna let you leave until you stay. But
You know I'm watching my figure.
Yeah, but you're home and I'm your mother. Of course I'm gonna feed you.
Okay, and I go up to her and give her a little kiss on the cheek.
She like gives you a little squeeze on the cheek.
Elle,
After that one.
Yeah.
do you want to stay with my mom, or do you want to come with me to see Poppy?
So when Elle got scooped up for a hug, I don't know if you would have clocked, but she got like real rigid and just didn't really know how to respond. I'll stick with you.
Okay. All right, I'll grab your hand and hold your hand and walk towards the back rooms.
It's like this velvet carpet up the stairs, like regal red as you walk towards your Poppy's office. As you walk your way, as you walk, I have been working on this accent for weeks.
It is fantastic.
Yeah.
As you are walking down the hallway to your Poppy's office, you see the door kind of open and close, and a very burly-looking, raccoon-looking Apoc with like some scars down his face just starts to sort of march out, kind of give you a nod. You recognize, no idea what his name is, but you recognize just as one of your Poppy's guys. But you are able to approach the door, softly knock, enter the room.
Yeah, I'll wait till like it sounds like there's a lapse in the conversation before I knock.
You don't hear any voices coming
Okay.
from behind the door.
So yeah, I'll just knock.
From behind the door, you just hear a what?
Poppy, it's me. Your little sugar cookie.
Some footsteps before the door like swings open. What does your Poppy look like?
You tell me. I'm like fully invested.
Oh no.
He has to
So,
look like Marlon Brando.
pardon?
Marlon Brando. He has to look like Marlon Brando from The Godfather. That is what I'm picturing.
I was
More or
picturing
less.
Lonely Island.
No, you see
Like
this.
Bolton.
Again, another tall Vulpin, not as tall as Aurora's mom, but another
That
tall
tracks.
Vulpin with like jet black fur, but at the tips of the hair, especially along his face and his snout, you see just like some gray starting to come. It's been like slicked back a little bit. It's been patted down around the ears. You see like one stud on one ear. He's wearing this like white collared shirt that's just unbuttoned, the collar open a little bit with a pinstriped vest. A like tail that's just been tipped in white, kind of swishing behind him as he just opens the door. Still quite tall, taller than you, but just kind of staring at you. Didn't realize you were home.
Arms around the waist.
Big hug as well. But just kind of like hugs you and just sort of moves you into the office at the same time.
Wait. This is Elle.
Okay.
She's really important to me, a close friend. She looks a little young, but she's
Yeah, very young.
she's more mature than you'd
I'm
realize.
12!
More mature than I realized. You brought a 12-year-old here.
Yes, but until I can tell you what she's done for this family, you'll straighten up. You will show her the respect that she deserves.
Oh.
Please come in then, little Elle. If Aurora's vouching for you, I can at least hear you out. It's good to see you. I'm glad you're back. How did it go?
It was a wild couple weeks, to say that at the least. Yeah, I don't know where to start, but I guess what I started with Mom, Elle here saved me. I got in a little hairy. We were out over at the Avium, and in the darkness, I kind of got knocked out. Everything went black. It was kind of like, it was really weird. It was like all my senses disappeared, and you know, like that intuition, that gut feeling you have.
Mm-hmm.
That was.
Always trust your gut. I keep telling you.
That's kind of all that was left. That's the only thing I had, and then I feel like I could touch Maitland, and then I was brought back, and Elle here is the one that saved me. I guess what happened was things got a little hairy, and Elle's the reason why you still have a daughter.
There's like a very long pregnant pause as he just kind of looks from you to Elle. Thank you. You are never leaving this house again.
That's for Mom to decide.
Absolutely not. I think I know what you're about to say.
Shit.
Just because your mother convinced me to let you go last time does not mean you're going this time. You're not leaving this house again. Not if that is what's going to transpire without me.
It's not, because I've learned and I know better now. I was too freewheeling.
Mm-hmm. I cannot have the only heir to this family
You got Vesper, she'll be fine.
going out there. Vesper is nothing like you. We've been through this before.
Yeah, she's more like you.
Vesper is happy in charge of the armory where she's been stationed for a bit.
You put her in charge of the armory?
Yeah, she's the only one.
You
who
never let
knows.
me get in there.
Because
See, you didn't let me. You don't trust me with anything.
How
And
many-
I'm a grown woman, and I can fend for myself. And I've found
Clearly
friends.
not.
I found friends that I can trust.
Aurora, we've had this discussion before.
You just don't get me.
God damn. You are too important
What
to
I'm
leave again.
what I'm doing is too important to not leave.
We don't even know if it's possible what you're doing. You had your little jaunt, you did your little thing, you died, now you're back. And that is where you're gonna stay until you are ready to take over this business. This family.
I
Side eyes over to Elle. What do you want from me? I'm trying here.
I promised Elle that I would pay her back, so I owe her. I owe her more than one.
Okay. So we are going to pay your dues and then clean cut. It's nice you found a friend. Very happy. I know Vespa will probably be really happy for you too. But you're gonna take over this family someday, so we need to make sure that you are A-okay for that moment. As I've said many times before, did you manage to get a new connection for me while you were gone?
If I'm going to take over the family, I need to keep doing what I'm doing. I need to learn to do what you do and not have that happen to me.
And maybe in time we can get you on that. But right now, you clearly aren't ready for what's out there.
Grandma said you never listened to her when you were growing up.
Your nan is wrong. All she cares about right now is baking cookies.
Mm-hmm. They're
And-
great cookies. Let's that's what here's.
I'm not saying anything against the cookies, but even if you go and ask her, the woman just talks before she doesn't take a breath. She's gonna drop dead one day because she's not gonna breathe. So I'm not really gonna take orders from your nan anymore. We've been through this again.
And then why should I take orders from you?
Because you are young. Just because your ma convinced me to let you go the first time doesn't mean it's gonna be this time.
Well, she'll convince you again. You can't say no to her.
I'm very glad you're back. Are you gonna stay for dinner?
Yes.
Good. So maybe we can put all of this behind us at dinner.
I don't think Elle can stick around for dinner because we've got more friends than just Elle, and maybe she needs to find them, and I would want to help escort her back to those friends so she doesn't get lost. She's only 12, so if you don't mind, we'll have to head out. But I wouldn't mind if.
But I thought we were gonna have Barba, whatever.
Did you want to stay? We can stay for supper if you want.
I'm kind of hungry.
All right, we'll stay for supper.
Both of you?
Yeah, we'll stay. I'm sticking with her. I'm not letting her out of my sight.
Fine. That's great. We love guests here. Especially for intense family conversations, we love guests. If you need to pay her back, go and see Vesper. She's the one who has all the books.
Money, please.
She's got the books in the armory. Go see Vesper.
It's really nice to see you, Dad.
It's nice to see you too.
Or Poppy.
There it is. It's very nice to see you too. I'm glad you're safe. I'm glad you're back and you're not leaving my sight again.
I don't think you can control that.
Go see Vesper.
Okay. Yeah, I run over and give him a kiss.
He as you do
And
the
I
run
definitely
over,
bat my eyes a bunch.
Does he
Yeah.
lean down to kiss you? Is he that short?
I jump up.
He's
You jump up?
sitting at this
Okay,
point. You're
okay.
kind of sitting, and he does the goes to reach in for the face to do the squeeze and the kiss kind of thing, but then sort of stops himself, but is kind of in torn as you bat your eyelashes and going for a kiss.
And we run over to go see Vesper for a reward for Elle.
Okay.
Elle doesn't really know how to leave, but she recognizes that this guy has some authority, so she just salutes and then
Yes.
Amazing.
Oh, man.
Okay. So finding your way down to the armory, you hear... It's very easy because as you turn the corner to the armory, you just hear a massive, clang, 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 and you just hear a voice. Shit, this thing's gonna take me forever to get back. I hate this place. This is so dumb. Why did I get stuck with this job? This wasn't the one I wanted in the first place. I guess it's kind of fun, except when this happens. You just hear this muttering coming from down the hall.
I just kind of walk in quietly behind as she's muttering. And it's you're the right one for the job.
Hello, I heard you coming from down the hall.
I wasn't trying to be quiet.
Thanks. Still getting used to it here. I'm not really a fan of this whole place yet.
Well, it's going to be yours someday.
Well, this room is already mine, and it's very clear that this is all I'm getting, so I make the best.
Between you and me, we both know that you're cut out for this, and that you can have the place when Poppy and Mama are like Nana and just making cookies for us all.
Oh, could you imagine Poppy making cookies? I can't imagine that at all. She's working at this tiny little desk with a bunch of tools laid out in front of her.
So, but I know it hasn't been that long since I've seen you, so just cut straight to the chase. Poppy said that this one here is owed some payment out of the coffers.
Hi, sweetie. How are you?
I'm okay. This is really intense.
You are so young. What are you doing here?
I'm 12.
Yeah, that's young. Where's your mom and your dad? Are you here alone?
My dad's a postman, and my mom... And she doesn't finish a sentence, she just trails off.
Is postman code for something that I don't know about?
No.
Okay. That's great, sweetie.
Is Pappy code for something I don't know about?
No, I don't think so.
No.
Anyways, what were you saying? It's good to see you, by the way. I feel like it's been so long, but
Maybe
when you're stuck in the basement.
yeah. You're not stuck in the basement.
I'm stuck in the
You
basement.
choose to be down here. Well, you gotta get out. Like, we'll go hit the bar sometime. We'll go pick up some.
That actually sounds real nice.
Pick up some cuties from down the.
Did you meet anybody on your travels? I'm looking for a gentleman,
Oh.
someone who has their wits about them. Maybe a little bit older would be nice.
We have a friend named Apoc.
I mean, yeah, he's cool.
Apoc? Okay. Is he cute?
Tough to say.
If you have to say that, then it's a no. It's just a no. You know who I like. Come on.
Well, what's your type? Vesper? We never really dug into this.
Well, if they're royalty, that's nice. If they got a title, that's nice. I'll go for anyone like Sir or above would be great. King would be great.
We know a sir.
You know a sir?
We do.
Yeah.
We do.
Okay, I'm listening.
He's a knight. He's actually a knight based out of
You made friends with a knight?
based out of Alderheart. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay, I can get behind this.
And like he might seem a little tiny when you first meet him, but trust me,
Tiny how?
but like when push comes to shove, he gets huge.
Guys!
High five.
Oh boy.
I could get behind that. That sounds good to me.
And
Okay.
He's super noble. Yeah, maybe I could, if you want, I could introduce you.
Yeah, that'd be great.
We're-
While you're in town.
Meeting up with him afterwards.
Oh, okay.
So if you
Maybe I'll tag along if I can get out of this place. But what'd you say what you were looking for?
Elle here was
Steph is still dying.
Elle saved me from she brought me back from the dead. So Poppy was gonna give her like 5,000 gold for helping me out.
5,000 gold? Okay, yeah, I can get that for you. She goes to stand
Elle
up
just
and
starts hyperventilating.
Stay cool.
yeah, I mean if Poppy said it, that's totally fine. She goes to get up and like knocks her desk a little bit and just stupid. She goes to like just duck into one of the side rooms and you hear her voice coming from the side room. Did he tell you if he needed anything else? When you were gone, he was really worried about you and said that you should have been outfitted before you left. Did you need anything?
Well, if you're while you're getting the money, I'll help myself to some stuff.
Yeah, sure. You know. Just make sure I can document it, okay? Because I'm working on some stuff.
Okay.
You hear like a rip and things just like clanging on the floor. You see like one gold piece kind of roll out of the room around the corner and you hear just more swearing. But as you look around the room, it's like a treasure trove. You see weapons, armor, everything. Some looking better than others. There seems to be almost a to refurbish in the process of refurbishing and ready to be given out sort of area.
Okay. I'm gonna grab a shield.
Great.
I'm gonna grab some studded leather armor.
Done.
The studded leather armor, the ones you notice me grab, is smaller and would fit Elle.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll grab that. And then is the other thing there that I was looking for?
You see a wall of shiny objects.
So like a couple bracers.
What you do see there, you do see a blue sapphire gem.
Ooh, yeah, I'll grab that.
You do see
Yoink.
a long silver rod.
Ooh.
You see
Wait.
no, we're done with those jokes because I think it makes some people uncomfortable. You see a Erlenmeyer flask with what looks like sparking electricity, just sort of like moving and shaking in it. You see a long, golden hilted sword with that same electricity on the blade.
Whoa.
Jeez.
You see a staff that almost seems in the right light to go kind of translucent before coming back, and it is this long pink kind of opal-y sort of staff. You do see bracers. A pair of bracers that are woven green. with like silver pieces of leather that have been
Nice.
sewn together. You see what else do I got going on?
Vesper, if am I cool just grabbing all of this?
Yeah, like I said, just documents it. Do you see a bag out there?
Okay, yeah. No.
Well, I don't
Elle,
know
do you
how
see a
to-
bag out there?
I just need to put your gold in. That's your poppy said. 5,000 gold, so what, can it be in platinum?
Yeah.
Okay, great. I'm gonna put it in platinum instead.
Okay. Elle, do you see a bag?
She's gonna look around. Does she see a bag?
There's like bags thrown at the corner.
There's Gucci. There's like whatever you want.
Yeah, so what you taking?
You want on-brand or off-brand bags?
Yeah, we grab a couch bag. Yeah, we'll just grab some bags and I'll like scoop everything up if I can.
Just everything that was mentioned?
Yeah.
Okay. You basically clear
While
this
we're
wall.
while we're putting stuff in bags, Elle's just gonna lean over and just whisper. So, I only got the only money I have that I've ever had. I got today from Apoc. So I don't know much about money.
Don't worry, we'll make sure you don't spend it all in one spot.
Okay.
Okay. So as you're grabbing everything with the armor and everything else that you said, there's a lot, like a staff is not going to fit in the bag.
It's fine. I
The
give it to
sword.
Elle to hold.
Okay.
I'm just like piling stuff on the little kid.
Yeah, just like the packing guy from Python. The
Yeah.
pack horse.
Pack
As you like just finish up putting everything in the bag or on Elle, you have a bunch of stuff. I'll send you a message.
Cool. Yeah.
Vesper comes back around the corner and has like a very like round, protruding, looks like it's been tied with a couple ropes pouch. This is a lot from the coffers. You sure your puppy said this?
He said, yeah, he said to give her a reward what she thinks was fit. Like she saved me.
Kind of looks over at Elle, who's holding the staff and a bunch of other stuff now. Okay.
So it's kind of muffled, but she's like, "It's true. She got boned to death." There was a big bone creature. Like, she tries to elaborate more, but is muffled by all the stuff she's carrying.
I'm gonna take that as a bad thing.
If you want to come meet the night,
Yes, I do.
we're okay. So we're coming back for supper,
Okay.
but I think around lunchtime, just after lunch, we're all meeting up. So maybe you can come like at lunch. So in like an hour or so, we can introduce you then.
Sure. Yeah.
Do
Yeah.
like a
Where
little-
you gonna be? Gonna be like outside? You
We're
gonna
on
be...
this level, so like just down by the council chambers. Is that what it's called?
Sure. Yeah. I can meet outside the council chambers. That's fine.
All right, yeah.
Okay. Great.
Or you can come
I'll go put on some rouge, I guess.
You look great though. You don't need to get gussy up, but he is a knight after all.
I'll look my best.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
As you scurry very loudly with all of your gear clanking, you're able to exit and walk away. Basil, Mrs. Q, we can loop back to you. Basil, you haven't had a chance to do anything yet. Is there anything you wanted to do?
Do we ask questions out of time or no?
To who?
Are we not still with the? Oh, yes.
No, I think the conversation with Aiden is done.
No, I'm good. I'm just like escorting Mrs. Q.
You can feel the awkward conversation being had at a house not too far away from you. Okay. As you both are kind of chilling out on this upper ring around the council chambers, just sort of observing for the very first time in a non-stressed environment that you've been up here, you see the barracks for the perch guard here. the members of the Perch Guard walking in and out across the way. You see a kind of like a little tack board that's been sort of refurbished since the last time you were here. You see like new posters. There seems to be like a band playing somewhere. Other people kind of ripping off little parts of the poster to take with them if it's of interest to them. And you see the sort of avenues that kind of curl away from this main square where there are the most regal homes in this area. And it kind of hits you almost like a sense memory, Basil, of just walking these streets as your younger self in less fortunate circumstances. And you can it's almost like an out-of-body experience where you sort of see a version of your younger self holding your mother's hand, walking back down one of the streets with a little bag in hand, clutching it to your chest as the one little toy that you were able to buy that month, that year, hard to remember, but walking back kind of head sullen down the road. That sort of weaves in almost like a spiral downwards from this main upper disc. And as quickly as it came on, you kind of snap yourself out of it just a little bit. But you are all able to meet up once more unless you wanted to do anything.
Only that Mrs. Q, while they were waiting, and would have conjured up a small fire and done some baking because there was no kitchens nearby and she needed to bake.
Is it lunchtime?
Pretty much. It can be it can absolutely be lunchtime. You're all able to meet back up together.
So Basil,
lunchtime is about at this point 3 o'clock because you woke up at noon sort of thing.
Basil.
Yeah.
How are you today? You look pretty good. You went, and I start fixing his collar and
What are you doing?
Just are you open to new experiences?
Annette is always prepared for any adventure that I face on.
Good. I sent you up for a lunch date.
I'm sorry.
Be on your best behavior.
Wait, what?
It's with my sister. She has a thing for knights. You're perfect.
Wait, sister, nice. I'm sorry. Dates?
Yes. It's where two people get to know each other to see if there's any chemistry to pursue.
Whoa. What is going on here?
You have a date with my sister in about 20 minutes.
So Basil's just hanging open, just as if he's nodding along every single word, being okay.
It'll be fine. She looks like me, but 2 years younger and much prettier.
Why is this happening? I don't understand.
That's for you to figure out. Just don't fuck it up.
Mrs. Q? Mrs. Q?
Apoc's over with Mrs. Q right now. Mrs. Q, I got you something. Found out this box is actually pretty magical. I think you might want it. You could grow your little plants in it. There's spot for 6 of them.
Oh my goodness! I love that!
Yeah.
I'm gonna grow so many things!
It's just as long as you promise to keep feeding us. I mean, your food's the best.
I can definitely do that.
Actually puts a cookie in his mouth.
Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna have to think about what seeds I'm carrying around that I have collected over our travels that I can plant ASAP. Because I'm so excited. Thank you! Okay. What is it called so I can add it to my inventory?
Traveling garden.
I may have to make it if you don't find it, but
You can always add a custom item too, and you can say like it grows 6 samples. I think.
Yeah, I'm not seeing traveling gun, so I shall create one.
yep,
Yeah.
no problem. As you are looking over your little chest in the traveling garden, you notice your sister kind of walking up the street, the like silver in her fur, little belle rouge. She's changed into this like very kind of bishop sleeved, piratey, like with a corset kind of skirt
sultry.
sort of thing, in like vibrant purple skirt. She's got like a little like key heart necklace sort of thing, like very Claire's-esque. As she's just kind of like looking around, like swiping down her fur, sees you, gives a wave, kind of does a little John.
Basil just like still be like, what? Why? What do you mean? What's going on?
Be a gentleman, and that's it.
Yeah.
She's walking up, Basil, as you see from the street where your sense memory just sort of took you down, walking up from that particular spiral. As the purple of her skirt's kind of weaving in and out, as she's just sort of walking over and just.
He's, and I point to Basil.
Didn't realize this was. Hello. I didn't realize this was gonna be a group date.
Oh no! We're just hanging out.
Hi.
We're grabbing food, but you guys can go do your thing.
Cool. Okay. What'd you say his name was?
Sir Basil.
Sir Basil. Okay.
I never got a
Okay.
last name.
Great. Yeah, that's totally normal. Sir Basil, hi.
At this point, Sir Basil is so glad that his visor covers the top of his face because he is like blushing hard. He's just like panicking underneath his visor, and he doesn't know what to do. So all he does is like salute, and then realizes what he's doing. He's like, "It's a pleasure to meet you," and kind of leads in
Likewise.
as a pleasure to meet you,
Oh, Vesper?
Vesper.
Yeah. You did tell him about me, right?
Yeah, I did.
Okay. He looks a little nervous.
I think you might be his first.
Dates?
Yes.
That would have been good to know.
Just kind of nudging.
Sorry. Did you want to take a walk? Did you want to get something to eat? It's very nice to meet you. You're very handsome.
Well, thank you. The walk would be lovely. And
All right, we're gonna go over here, and I like lean over to Mrs. Q and Elle. It's like,
Yeah.
he's gonna need some work.
Sir Basil's listening like, guys.
The best way to learn is to just go for it.
Oh, so everyone's bowed down to the place.
Apoc just shouts over, "Dude, we're going on an adventure. This is like the last night of your life, potentially."
Don't say that.
Sir Basil's just gonna like, and then just look at oh, sorry, what was her name again?
Vesper.
Look at Vesper, hold out his hand. I guess because she's significantly taller than him, correct?
Yes. Absolutely.
Unless you're
Hold out
growing.
his hand and say, "Shall we, my lady?"
She like blushes a little bit. Absolutely.
Takes a hand and they start their stroll.
And I whisper, "Good luck and guidance to whatever."
Oh my gosh. This is not what. Anyways.
No. The only Vesper is equally as nervous as you. She's just kind of like chatting, sort of takes her hand back. Just sort of chatting as you go, passing the very like rich homes as you sort of walk down the street a little bit. Just like, this one is my home. I know I'm not supposed to really say anything, but you know that's mine. If you ever want to like, you know, visit. This one here is the Padres. They're not really nice, but my poppy has some dealings with them. This one here is from the Smiths. We don't really talk about them because they're kind of strange. Oh, and this one, as she comes to like the end of the street. I don't think you should go any further than the fence because this one we think is actually haunted. As you look, go ahead.
Oh, so he's just kind of asking haunted. What do you mean by that?
Well, sometimes we swear that we like see lights on, but this house has not been lived in for probably like 20, 30 years. My papa used to have dealings with the merchant who lived here, but not no more because the merchant's gone and no one has moved into this house. We think it's cursed.
Hmm. Would Sir Basil know anything about this place?
Yes. It's almost like it hits you in the face as you turn to see a very decrepit, overgrown version of the House of Zogma.
Hmm. Sir Basil kind of keeps his cool and then asks Vesper, by any chance do you know what happened to the family that lived here?
Oh, I'm not sure. I mean, my puppy doesn't really talk about it much, and the neighborhood kids we grew up with just claim that they saw stuff in the windows, but it's all boarded up, but as far as my puppy said, the merchant here just sort of ran away, ditched everything and left. No one heard from him since. His whole business kind of went under and he just sort of walked away. Actually, left my puppy kind of high and dry. He was a main supplier as far as I know. Why do you like haunted houses?
Yeah, great man to recover from something like that.
Pardon?
Your puppy must be a great man to recover from something like that.
Oh, he's got connections all over the place. It just, this one kind of hit him a little hard because it was so sudden. Normally Poppy's the one ending the relationships, if that makes sense.
I see.
What are you two doing?
Fine. Keep going.
But do you like haunted houses? I mean, I don't, but I could dare you to go knock on the door.
Oh, really?
No, don't, because it's supposed to be cursed, and if you touch it, you might get cursed. I deal with enough magic items to know that curses are real. Please don't touch it. But, like, if you want to, it would be very brave of you, but, like, you shouldn't, unless you want to. You see her just blush again.
Like, insight check into that? Like, do I feel like she actually wants me to? Like, what
Go ahead and roll an insight check.
Okay. It's like,
What are you two doing?
It's fine. Keep going. You guys are great.
that's a 21.
You get the sense that Vesper is also very nervous. Vesper is definitely younger than Aurora, and that she would find it equally very attractive if you went to knock on the door, but is also very scared of curses. So she's telling the truth.
Interesting. Okay. I think that Basil, one, recognizing that this is the House of Zogma, and kind of like cueing in on some of the hints from Vesper, would say something like, "Oh, a knight always has to be brave. Curses, they're nothing for a knight like me." And he'll kind of like stroll up to the door and say, "There's nothing to be afraid of. Knock, knock, knock."
As you knock, it like Your ears kind of pick up that it's echoey. Like it's vacant. You don't hear anything. No movement. You can see Vesper, if you turn around, just like a little hand on her chest, just in equal parts terrified and awed.
Just curious, like, if Sir Basil were to push on the door, would it like budge open?
So it is barred. Like windows are covered in plywood kind of thing. If you think that kind of style of house, like weeds are overgrown, railing is off kilter. It's a huge manor, but unkempt. So you can go and like push on the door, and like it does kind of clink in a little bit, but it's been stapled over or nailed over, if that makes sense. Like a piece of plywood is kind of keeping the door closed. You could certainly break it if you shove, kind of thing, but just a gentle push is not going to open the door, if that makes sense.
Okay. In that case, Sir Basil will take note of it, just turn around, walk back to Vesper, and just say confidently, see, there's nothing to be worried about, and hold his hand out again, just try and take her hand.
You are very brave, good sir. Okay, I could see how you are a sir and a knight of Alderheart. That was very brave. But let's go. This house gives me the creeps. As she starts to walk a little bit quickly, kind of looking over her shoulder every so often on your way back. As you make your way back up the windy road, the rest of you having a bite to eat of some sort. Mrs. Q, in your mind, you hear Aylin's voice come back through. Kind of at the same moment as you hear a giant screech from above you, over the tree of Alderheart. And you hear Aylin just sort of whisper, Rosemary, I'd like you to know my sister has arrived ahead of schedule. It's more urgent than we thought. If you could return to the council chambers, we can get started, please.
Mrs. Q relays this message to the group and says we should head inside.
Okay.
Vesper, go home. I think I need to go see what this is about, and
Okay.
I'm hoping
Yes.
we'll be home for the Branzino. But if things turn out, can you just cover for me?
Yeah, I can cover for you.
Cool.
But if I get in trouble with all the stuff you took, I'm going to be pissed, Aurora.
You won't.
Okay. She sort of leans down towards you, Basil, and just kind of gives you a little quick kiss on the cheek and just... I had a great time. See you around.
Can Sir Basil, before she leaves, he'll take out his helmet for the first time, so she sees his face, and he'll just give her a little kiss on the hand. And say, I also enjoyed this time with you as well, Miss Vesper.
She just gives a wave and sort of skips back down the road. And unless there's any final thing that you'd like to do, we will end there because it is 10 o'clock.